What is going on, brother mine?
What's up?
Danny's here. If we sound the same, which I don't know if we do.
I think I'm actually a little lower now.
Oh, that's good. Is
saved us last
that
time.
emasculating for me? Is that what that is?
I mean, if that's the way you want to take it, go ahead.
I'm not sure how I'm supposed to take it, but I'm a little insulted. Welcome to one of the true forms of the Calhoun show.
Correct.
Because there's two of us. We've had Stephanie Calhoun shows. Now we have a you. You were on the show once.
Yes.
How did you? I only put you on one time in 100 episodes.
And I live above you.
What a dick! I know you live in the apartment above me, and yeah. All right, well you're here now.
I am.
And we have football stuff. Your Ravens.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit about that. We have the Steelers. We have people casting the Super Bowl. So if the Super Bowl were a movie, what who would play who? So we have a bunch of those, and we're going to talk about movies coming out in 2017.
Movies I'm much better at.
Yeah, because movies is your thing. Movies is your thing. Now, the only way to start this show the correct way would be to start with an anecdote because as has been stated, you live in the apartment above me. So you came down, and for another month or so, I have roommates. And my roommates and I were in the kitchen, and we were testing my roommate Ryan on NBA teams. And he said, I can't name 2 NBA teams. I said, I bet you could name 5. So he goes, Celtics.
Yep. Easy one.
Bulls. Mm-hmm. Who else? Who was his third one? He got to the Knicks.
Yep, you got to the Knicks.
There was somebody third, and then we're standing there, and his wife, who they just got married, congratulations, is standing right next to him, and we're all thinking Lakers, right? Danny's Danny's going, how have you not said the Lakers? And I'm thinking the same thing, and Paige is thinking the same thing, and then I said, all right, just think of the big cities, right? You got Chicago, you got New York. What city are you missing? And he goes, I don't know who plays Los Angeles. Clippers, obviously the Clippers.
Oh,
and
God.
We realized that he's the first person of all time to think of the Clippers before the Lakers.
Yeah.
Did you see the Lakers stat from the other day?
I did not.
The Lakers scored 73 points. They got blown out. It was on the anniversary, the 10-year anniversary of Kobe's 81-point game.
Oh.
He outscored him.
Oh, no. That shows where the franchise is going.
Oops. No. It's going good places. It's just not good places now. All right.
It's the slow burn.
All right. Well, we know what happens next. Patty's music time. Let's go. Calhoun Show. As always, you can follow the show on Twitter at Calhoun Show. Email the show, calhounshow@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook? Subscribe on YouTube. What else? What am I forgetting?
I don't know. I listen to the show every week. I commend Andy for the effort he made.
Yeah, and we all heard the outtakes of that.
Yes, we did.
So, yeah, you can subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Leave a rate and review on iTunes. Episodes are fully available on YouTube, and you can leave a voicemail, 860-740-2119, 860-740-2119. That's it.
You're aggressive and impressive in the same moment.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole spiel. If you're new to the podcast, my brother's here.
Oh, well.
Yeah. In case you tuned in late, because you could do that on a podcast.
Tuning in at this hour.
Yes. For those of you just joining us, if you were watching the end of the Cardinals Seahawks game and are just all right, so the Patriots are in the Super Bowl again.
Oh yeah.
2 weeks from now, Tom Brady will have started 14% of the Super Bowls.
Wow.
How about that?
That's a percentage I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oof.
So now this is interesting. This is an interesting Super Bowl for you. So Danny's a Ravens fan, a diehard Ravens fan.
Yes.
Since 2000, whenever they won the Super Bowl.
2001, because they've won 2 since then.
Damn it. All right, fair enough. So you naturally don't like the Patriots. It's an AFC rival for you. It's a team that you've lost to. It's a team that you've beaten.
Yeah, for the longest time, it was 2 games a year.
Yeah.
It felt like a division game.
Yeah, so you would naturally think that you are gravitating towards the Atlanta Falcons.
One would think.
However, that doesn't seem to be the case.
No.
Talk to me.
It starts off with my love and just hatred for everyone who wants to talk about the elite quarterbacks.
Sure.
And the argument started, which was the two major quarterbacks who came into the league that year were Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco. So we've had that comparison article written anytime they've played each other, anytime anyone has ever done anything.
Sure.
And I'm tired of it. And Matt Ryan has too many weapons for him to be in the same conversation.
As Joe Flacco?
Yeah. Matt Ryan has had the best targets in the NFL for a while. He had Roddy White and Julio Jones at their prime. And Joe Flacco started with Derek Mason. Ugh.
All right, so it's weird, right? Because if you look at Matt Ryan right now, he's definitely playing better than Flacco's played outside of 5 games in a row.
Absolutely.
He's definitely playing way better than Flacco's capable of playing, it would seem.
Yeah.
Right? Because your problem with Flacco is, when's the big game? When are we going to have 350 yards? Right? Matt Ryan had highest yards per attempt ever.
Absolutely. And it's
offense
a different
helps.
Yeah, the style of offense helps. The Ravens have always been a run first, except for this year. A run first and let's let the defense play the game.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. I have a problem. I have such a problem. Hold on. I'm still hung up on this Flacco thing. Flacco, he's getting worse.
He didn't look good.
He's getting worse. Maybe it was the injury, but Matt Ryan's way better now. And that's the weird part because Matt Ryan, if we've talked over the last 8 years, it's always who's the elite quarterbacks. So it's been Brady, Manning, Rodgers, Breeze, and then you have your Ben, Eli, Flacco,
middle tier.
Yeah, whatever that middle tier is. Matt Ryan was never mentioned in either of those 2 tiers.
No, because
now he's the MVP.
Matty Ice had hot water running through his veins, and he was terrible when the game was on the line.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see. So let's go back to the championship games first before we go forward because you are a Ravens fan, so we have to talk about the Steelers.
Yes.
Obviously, that was a joy for you.
Oh, always.
By the way, this is going to be 2 games in a row that you're rooting for New England.
Yeah, but actually, the more I've dived into it this year, the more I've been rooting for the Falcons because it's been less of a personal thing with Matt Ryan. Because my question was, he's always a better quarterback than Joe, but he never won the game.
True.
He never won a playoff game. So now I'm actually starting
he had won a playoff game. But they lost at home in the NFC title game in that Tony Gonzalez retirement tour.
His retirement
which
tour.
was a nightmare loss. It was bad. That was bad. But now they're winning playoff games by double digits.
Yeah, and I like the rest of the team. The Patriots, I physically don't like anyone on that team.
The Patriots are interesting, and let's go to the Steelers because the Patriots started that game off and they were like, "Oh, you don't want us to run the ball." Cool. and they threw 18 out of 22 passes to start the game. Meanwhile, on the other side, before Le'Veon Bell got hurt, and maybe you can explain this to me, if this was a Steelers Patriots thing only, which by the way, Tomlin cannot beat the Patriots.
No.
The Ravens can beat the Patriots. The Steelers do not beat them.
No.
And it's embarrassing every time they try.
Well, Tomlin's overrated.
I agree. So Tomlin / Haley and everybody there is why on 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 are they throwing 45-yard passes to Sammy Coates who doesn't catch anything when you have Le'Veon Bell?
Because their hope was they were going to win the game with a big play offense, and they were afraid of what happened to them the week before, which was 3 points. 3 points. I've watched the Ravens do it for years. You want that big play offense.
Well, you get 3 points from wherever you want.
Well, yeah, I can get 3 points from the 10.
The Ravens just kicked the field goal because Justin Tucker felt like it today. So,
yeah, he kicked it from wherever the Pro Bowl is into Baltimore,
Orlando. Yeah. So it was, and the Kansas City game, they moved the ball like crazy.
They just
stalled. They just stalled. I don't know. The Le'Veon Bell thing, they lost him, and that hurt him a lot. But the play calling, Sammy Coates is terrible. Sammy Coates doesn't catch anything.
No.
If the ball is 1 inch off of perfect, He's not going to catch it. And if it's perfect, he might.
Yeah.
he might catch it.
If the ball's not where he put his hands in the first place, he's not moving them.
So I want to know confidence level 1 to 10 in the Patriots winning this game. Because they have to be. I know Atlanta start open as the favorites, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Which is crazy, but I mean it's a huge offense, and if they win the Super Bowl, they're going to be like over the next 2 weeks, everyone's going to start realizing, and you're going to start hearing, if the Falcons win the Super Bowl, is this the greatest show on turf? Is this the best offense of all time? It might be. It really might be. It's up there with all the stats, and if they win the Super Bowl, I don't know. Because, and you listen to Around the NFL, you heard Chris Wessling talking about this. The best 2 offenses of all time were, in his estimation, were the 98 Vikings and the 07 Patriots.
Yep.
And neither of those teams won the Super Bowl.
No, because, I mean, the article or argument gets away from them that defense wins championships. For the most part, in the last decade, we're still seeing that.
Yeah.
And the top flight offenses, if they hit a snag in the playoffs, they have nothing to fall back on.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. So with Atlanta, and you and I see limited Atlanta Falcons games. We see what we get on Red Zone, and we get highlights. And obviously we see the playoff games.
Yeah.
That offense has been unstoppable. They're scoring 35 points a game. If you're going into this knowing that Bill Belichick has 2 weeks, what's the floor? What's the lowest amount of points you would think possible for the Falcons? Because that's the way I gauge how confident you are in Belichick's ability to get ready. Because if you said, honestly, if the Falcons scored 13 points in the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be shocked. And guess what? That's my number.
13?
If they scored 13 points and the Patriots beat them 21-13, 24-13, I would come out of it going, of course he did that to that offense. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's the number that I would go that low because of Belichick.
That does seem low for these two teams the way they've played this year. And Belichick is a defensive-minded head coach, which a lot of people, even people on TV I've seen, forget about that. Like, oh, Patriots are always the top-flight offense thanks to Bill Belichick. And I'm like, no, he's kept their defense good for how many years? With who?
And he's got the best play caller in the league, too.
Yes, he does.
The 2 best play callers in the league.
Fair enough.
One of them's on the field and one of them's on the sideline. Did you hear what McDaniel said about the Patriots offensive coordinator job?
No.
When he was asked about coaching in San Francisco or wherever he could have gone.
Anywhere.
He was talking about how he does want to be a head coach, but he wants the next job he takes to be a step up from where he is. And what he is right now, he considers the Patriots offensive coordinator a top 10 NFL coaching job.
Wow.
He considers it better than 22 head coaching positions in the league to be Belichick's offensive coordinator.
I mean,
I don't disagree.
I don't disagree with him at all.
I don't disagree.
Because, and I believe they talked about it on ATL, the coaching jobs, you have to deal with management and ownership.
Yeah.
And he knows the ownership there well. The ownership is well established there. And they're not, let's fire a GM every season because we went 8-8.
That's true. Those are the stable organizations, right? The Steelers do that. The Ravens do that. The Giants do that. And these are teams, the Giants to a lesser extent, they don't win as much as those other teams, but
you won more than me.
Well, we have more Super Bowls and more wins this year. But I mean, as a consistent thing, the Ravens are a playoff team more often than the Giants are. Pretty consistently. But especially over the last 5 years that the Giants didn't make it at all. Damn it. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. Not mad at all.
No salty here.
No saltiness at all. I've had a headache for 9 days. Just thinking about the Giants just only amplifies it to a way worse extent. All right, so actually, speaking of the Giants, did we get the Steelers? We talked about Tomlin, talked about not running Le'Veon Bell. Antonio Brown. Where are you at with Antonio Brown?
I have no problem. I don't like playing against him.
Yeah. I
don't care about the off-field stuff. Players have been doing it for years. It's just, they have Facebook Live now.
Yeah. High 6-figure contract for Facebook Live. And It's beautiful. Somebody suggested it that night.
Really?
Yeah, somebody suggested it that night. That, oh, you know what? It's going to come out. He's got a sponsorship. I think somebody asked him about it, actually, in his press conference, if I remember correctly. But, yeah, the Facebook Live thing, I didn't get it. I thought that it would have been complete... If Tomlin hadn't yelled, we'll go beat those assholes, or whatever he said.
Yeah.
Like, if that wasn't heard, that never would have been a story.
No, and that's always the story whenever a coach says something like, let's go beat them with an expletive or something like that.
Calls the Patriots assholes.
Yeah. I mean, that's what John Harbaugh called the Pittsburgh Steelers a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That got out that he was, cursing about the Steelers. It's like, okay.
Well, of course he is.
Why wouldn't he be?
Yeah, but of course he is. There's no reason he wouldn't be. And I think it was what's his name? Is it Roman Castro? Is that the Steelers offensive lineman?
I believe so.
I might have that name wrong, but either way, he was asked about it, and he goes, yeah, assholes, or maybe it was a Patriots line. I can't remember. Yeah, of course they're assholes, or we're assholes. We're in the NFL. Of course we're assholes. We're
paid a lot of money to be an asshole.
Yeah, and it's the coach's job to tell them that they're assholes over there. Those guys over there, go get them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If Tomlin hadn't said something in the background, that never would have been a story. Antonio Brown, the Tomlin comments are... Have you heard the Tomlin comments?
No.
So last week he said something along the lines of, this is why you see star players move from team to team. Ugh. And he said, I don't want that to be his future, and I know that he doesn't want that to be his future, and I don't think it will be. But we have to get things like this to stop happening. And the stop happening thing was interesting because we don't really know much about Antonio Brown, aside from the fact that he's awesome at football and he works really hard.
Yeah.
He is dedicated as shit to being good at football. But this apparently is something recurring with the Steelers. And then Sarah, what did I call her?
The best friend.
The best friend of the our podcast best friend. Our podcast best friend. She was pointing out that he's 29 years old. They're going to have to re-sign him at some point here. And that is an underrated part with the Steelers that no one talks about. I think, is it still Colbert, the GM? I don't think he's very good at drafting anything but linebackers.
No.
Although he's wide receivers, to be fair. And wide receivers. Great at drafting wide receivers.
And he got lucky on a running back.
Okay, all right, he's done an okay job, but he still pisses me off, though. Still pisses me off. But one thing they're good at is they have the Patriots model to a degree of when you're no longer useful, you're not here.
Yeah.
But they do it moreover. Emmanuel Sanders, Mike Wallace, and now all of a sudden, if Martavis Bryant's head gets screwed on straight, you've got Eli Rogers. I don't know. But it's a topic. Because Antonio Brown does stupid shit.
He does stupid shit, but he's also top 3 wide receiver on the planet.
I would have him 2. I would have him second.
2?
Yeah. I'm convinced now. It's taken prodding and poking and dragging me to the finish line. But I will concede Julio Jones is the best. That's the best wide receiver in the league. He's been in 2 NFC title games, and he has 180 yards in both of them.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's pretty legit.
Yep.
That's pretty legit.
So does this mean you're calling OBJ third officially?
I think so. Yeah, I would put Beckham third. I can't think of somebody I would put ahead of him.
Is that a Packer game hangover still, or?
No. Julio's great. I think when Odell's on, he does everything Antonio Brown does better.
Okay.
But he's not on all the time, and Antonio Brown's always on.
Yeah.
And Julio Jones is like, he's got 4 foot injuries, and he's just torching people. Meanwhile, he's got the same stat line as Chris Hogan. So 9 for 180 and 2 touchdowns. Both Hogan and Julio had that stat line last weekend.
Well, the Patriots have had that ability to draft a nobody or
bring in a nobody,
and Michael Floyd them.
I have to find this. I'm gonna ask you to first talk about Zach Orr from the Ravens, because I'm gonna look up something that's gonna make you laugh really hard because it's Browns related.
Oh, that's depressed. Oh, is that the?
Yes, the Browns contributions.
Oh, great.
All right, so Zach Orr.
Zach Orr just had to retire due to I believe a spinal issue. that affects, I think he said 99 or 1% of all people.
That's crazy.
That's insane. And he was second or third year in, and he was solidifying the defense next to CJ Mosley. And it's just...
And he was great.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
There were a lot of games this year where they were calling him the defensive MVP over CJ on the team, which was shocking. He just... Between him and CJ, you didn't complete a pass for like that 5 and in.
So
that outside pitch, they were just all over it.
So now that you have that information with your Ravens, what's your number one focus for the offseason?
It's still a cornerback.
Still a cornerback?
Yeah.
You need a shutdown guy?
We have one, but Jimmy Smith has been injured too often. And it's easy to tell where the need is if you look at the Ravens stats when Jimmy Smith was off the field.
Yeah. All right. So we got the Browns' contributions to this year's Super Bowl. They did not re-sign Alex Mack, who went to Atlanta. They cut Taylor Gabriel.
Oh no.
Who went to Atlanta. They cut Dion Lewis.
Oh boy.
Who went to the Patriots, and they traded the draft pick that eventually was used to select Julio Jones.
They're depressing.
It's such a bummer. It's such a bummer. By the way, Johnny Manziel's going to start working his way back to the NFL, I guess.
Yeah, no, he's not.
No, he's not. All right, so
he won't play anywhere.
All right, so more. What else do we have for? All right, so let's do our casts for this year's Super Bowl. Let's go to the Facebook page, and I will pull up some other ones. So I'll start.
Okay.
Do you have a Bill Belichick?
I don't have a Bill Belichick.
You don't have a Bill Belichick. All right, so what do you have for Bill Belichick?
Bill Belichick, I have no actor would be allowed to play him because anyone who's ever played a Madden game until like a year ago, they couldn't even use his likeness.
Wait, is he not? Is he on it now?
I believe he is on it now.
Oh, no kidding. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna look for our Belichicks. My favorite Belichick that we got was from our buddy Kyle McGowan, who said Tommy Lee Jones.
Ooh.
Tommy Lee Jones as Bill Belichick. That's pretty good. My Bill Belichick, it's going to take a little bit of makeup, but as far as the tone goes, I want Paul Giamatti.
Really?
I want Paul Giamatti as my Bill Belichick.
That's an interesting casting. I'm not against it.
You're not mad at it?
No, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, so I want Paul Giamatti. All right, so what do you got? Tom Brady?
Brady, I actually have Pratt.
Okay. Chris Pratt?
I was just looking at actors and I saw a poster for whatever space movie he just came out with. Not Guardians coming up. But it was just like a really close up on his face and I'm like, wow. All right, yeah, that works.
Okay. All right, so we have KG says Matt Damon. And he's going to take Ben Affleck to play Matt Ryan.
He's insane.
So Matt Damon is Brady and Ben Affleck is Matt Ryan.
Are we just going to cast the Boston boys in this movie?
I love this one, by the way. He says Bryce Harper becomes an actor and plays Julian Edelman. Anthony Anderson as Martellus Bennett. Who's Anthony Anderson?
He is the SNL guy.
I don't know who that is. Marshawn Lynch out of retirement to play the character. But KG's cheating. This is cheating. KM says the dude who played Mike Winchell from Friday Night Lights is Matt Ryan, and Tommy Lee Jones, as we said, is Belichick.
Yep.
And Gary Bertier gets to play linebacker for the Patriots.
That's great.
And then he says Gary Bertier has me thinking Remember the Titans, so I'm going to go watch Remember the Titans.
That's all around a good choice.
My Brady is Michael Fassbender.
Ooh, I like that.
That's a good one, right?
I like that better than mine.
Okay, who else do you have?
I cannot pronounce his name. Triple A he was Mr. Echo on Lost.
Oh, okay.
As Blunt.
Okay, all right. I don't mind that.
I have Michael Keaton as Dan Quinn.
I don't hate it.
I looked at Dan Quinn and I was trying to place one. I think I had I don't remember who I had before him. But the only other casting I have is Michael B. Jordan, the kid from Creed.
Yeah.
As Michael Floyd.
Okay. All right, that's not terrible. I have so for Roger Goodell.
Oh boy.
For Roger Goodell, I want Kevin Butler. He's you remember the guy, Dear PlayStation, the blonde guy. You remember the PlayStation spoke? If you don't know who I'm talking about, look up Kevin Butler. That's my Roger Goodell choice. And then this again is going to take a little makeup. This is my. Do you have any more?
No, that's it for me.
This was my last one, which was this is again going to take some makeup because you have to make him older. But he wants to become an actor, so I'm going to have John Cena play Ed Hockley and ref the game.
Ooh, see, that's actually funny because I was gonna cast Ed Hockley in this. I was gonna cast the 90,000-year-old Ric Flair just at a 500-pound squat.
The Ric Flair's old as shit, and he can still squat 900 pounds. Did he really squat 900 pounds?
It wasn't 900.
I think it was like 400.
It was like 450. But
can you
still,
squat? Can anyone squat 900 pounds?
Probably not.
I can't. I can't. The only other one I had was I was trying to think of somebody that would just take the job and be more confusing at trying to explain things. I'm going to have Ben Carson come in and play Mike Carey on the broadcast.
Yes. I like that so much.
That's gonna be my last one. This is a Fox game, so I couldn't do that.
No, and Hockley's not in it, so I couldn't do that one.
I got a better one. I want what's the guy's name with the glasses from Saturday or not from Whose Line Is It Anyway? Do you know who I'm talking about? You know the guy with the glasses?
Yes.
That's Mike Pereira.
That is perfect.
That's Mike Pereira. Oh God, I'm gonna have to remember that guy's name now. Fitzsimmons, Greg Fitzsimmons. That's his name. All right. We had one more sports thing, and then we're gonna do movies.
Okay.
The Knicks offered Carmelo Anthony to the Cavaliers for Kevin Love. The Cavaliers said no.
Yeah.
You agreed with this.
I absolutely agree with this.
Talk to me.
I think Melo likes to be in charge of his team, and he would be in the Love position of third fiddle. And I think they've just got the ball rolling with this season and to the point the end of the finals last year with Kevin Love.
I agree with you, and I think Kevin Love's the more consistent option. He's probably the better option on a night-to-night basis, but I think that Golden State's too good for Cleveland beat them this year. I think these teams were close last year, and I think LeBron and Kyrie just becoming just superhuman in those games, especially LeBron, almost average had a triple-double in every game or whatever he did. It was stupid what he was able to do. There's not enough to do that against that same team with Durant on it.
See, I think being a fully solidified year with Kevin Love playing that role will help that a lot. And I think they can beat. I mean, I haven't watched enough NBA this year, but I think they can beat Golden State with this team. I think Melo would hurt it more than help it.
I disagree. And I was watching NBA Countdown tonight, which it was the first time I'd watched that in a while. I like the Beatle Jalen combo. Yeah. Those two were pretty good. But Jalen Rose was talking about adding Carmelo to the Cavs, and he's good. He's great in the mid range. Jalen was talking about the best mid range players in the league, and he had, I think, Carmelo ranked third still. Yeah, because he hits those jumpers a lot. And the thing that he said that really convinced me that this wasn't a bad idea is think about the finals 2 years ago when LeBron and Kyrie had to come off the floor, or Kyrie was hurt. So when LeBron would have to come off the floor, who was out there? Yeah. You can have a game where Carmelo can be ball dominant for 12 to 14 minutes in a game by himself. True. So and that's terrifying.
Is Melo going to take that role?
I think he would, because I think Carmelo wants to win. Carmelo has, and he's earned it, because what he did with Denver was, I mean, it's the smartest thing you can do as a businessman, but it's the worst thing you can do as a basketball player. The sign and trade, where you want to make sure you get the max contract, and I don't know if you know how the sign and trade works. The team that's trying to keep you can pay you more than everybody else can. Oh, wow. So a sign and trade is, I want to play for them, I want the contract, so you sign me and then trade me to them for something else. Oh, okay. Instead of just going there as a free agent. So he gutted the Knicks because he wanted the max contract. So Denver gave him the max and then took everything the Knicks had to give him to the Knicks, and he gutted the Knicks that way. And the sign and trade does that every single time a player moves. Because if you're going to sign and trade, you're somebody good. That means they're going to have to go up something good to get you. So, but I think he wants to win.
Yeah, no, and you don't build the big three that every team's been looking for doing that, in my opinion.
No. And if you're the Cavaliers and you are thinking that you're not good enough to win the title with the team you have against Golden State, which might be true. It really might be true. How many players are you going to find better than Melo? Melo's a better player than Kevin Love still. He is. He's a better player.
Yeah.
He's still a top 10 point creator in the league. Or scorer. I should just say scorer. He doesn't create points for anybody else.
Defensively, where is he?
He's not. He's mediocre to bad. I mean, he's okay. He's an okay defender. I mean, I shouldn't judge Carmelo Anthony's defense. I have no idea.
But he's a Knick. He hasn't played defense in years.
That shows. Yeah, they almost blew another 17-point lead the other night. I was watching. I was going completely insane. By the way, the Knicks are fun. They're not great, but Derrick Rose is fun. Joakim Noah missed a free throw.
I saw that, the air ball.
Yeah, he missed it wide left.
Yeah, he airballed it.
He airballed it like 3 feet left. You're a professional basketball player.
Like, you could talk crap about Shaq, but he hit the rim sometimes.
He did. He was always in line with the rim.
Yes.
He could throw it straight. Joakim Noah's throwing it fucking that way. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. All right. Obviously, we have another podcast between now and the Super Bowl, so that's why we're not doing like a gigantic Super Bowl breakdown. That would be silly. I do want to mention the NHL All-Star Game is this weekend.
Okay.
And I'm super excited about it because Sidney Crosby's actually going to play in it this year. There's a video online that's a promo for it. The All-Star Game's in LA, so they did this like Hollywood casting thing where they had all the stars like trying out for roles.
Of course.
And it was super dumb and it was annoying because the NHL made it, except for Evgeny Malkin, because he just started talking Russian and the subtitles were like, maybe if I pretend I can't speak English, they'll leave me alone. And they were like, wow, he's so cultured. So that was pretty good. And are you excited for the Pro Bowl?
No, I'd rather watch the skills competition, the other stuff, than watch the actual game.
They're playing dodgeball.
They are playing dodgeball.
I think Odell's playing in the dodgeball thing.
The
what are the odds that he just ends up having sex with one of the dodgeballs? Like
well, is it on a boat?
If the kicking net's there, he won't be able to contain himself.
Absolutely. I think the other team should just put the kicking net right off to the side, and Odell's just gonna stare at that.
Yeah, just to try to distract him.
Unfortunately, Juszczyk got snubbed from dodgeball.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense.
Oh, that's not cool.
Yeah, right?
Well, that's cool that Juszczyk's going, though. I forgot about that.
Yeah. One of the only real fullbacks left in the NFL.
Do you want to make a Super Bowl prediction since you're not going to be on the show next week?
Well, I actually prepared for that.
Oh, did you?
Surprisingly. Using lingo from your podcast last week.
Okay.
I see Brady and Belichick pulling a John Cena and just burying the younger talent. Just
knocking them down.
It's gonna be like, the Falcons are this great up and coming team.
I love it.
And Brady and Belichick are just sitting in like a leather chair, just going, nope, bury him.
Hey guys, look at this guy. He's scary. He's got a beard. He's Bray Wyatt. He's dead. That was like right at the tail end of my wrestling watching. Was when I was like, cool. This guy Bray Wyatt's awesome. He's gonna be in a casket match?
Yeah.
Or something, you're like, oh, cool, they're going to put him up against John Cena. It's over, John Cena won. Oh.
Yeah, he got this big push and then lost like 4 pay-per-views in a row.
So my ideal outcome for the Super Bowl is the Falcons win, and then they're standing on the podium, and Eli Manning removes his Matt Ryan mask. He gives Brady the DX chop, and then he stone cold stuns Goodell. That's my ideal Super Bowl finish.
I see Goodell playing the Vince McMahon role. I knew the whole time.
I was a part of it.
It was all me.
All right. Do we have any? We have a couple more. All right. So KG, Patriots win their 5th Super Bowl under Brady and Belichick. thought not actually possible. Sorry, they both retire. We can all move on. KM says Pats win and Tom Brady's the MVP, then celebrates by flipping off Goodell and screaming, "We had game tape of practice and the balls were just like yours, slightly underinflated, not just this year, but all years, Raj." That's super detailed.
Oh, boy.
There's a lot going on there. All right, so movie time?
Movie time.
All right, Danny, I'm going to talk movies. It's Calhoun Show.
The Calhoun Show.
All right, we're talking movies.
We are my specialty.
You're good at movies. I mean, you're good at sports, but you're good at movies.
Yeah, I definitely know more movies than I do Matt Ryan statistics.
I think that goes for everybody. By the way, Matt Ryan statistics, 18 touchdowns, no picks over his last 6 games.
All right, everybody but you.
Everybody but me. All right, so before we go, because the point of this is we're talking movies in 2017.
Yes.
However, I have a couple questions. Mm-hmm. What did you think of Rogue One?
I liked it a lot.
I did too.
I wasn't expecting to. I saw it as another... I saw it going more down the prequel route where it just didn't work.
Okay.
And it actually, apart from some bad CGI, I thought it worked really well.
Yeah, there was... Did you not like the General and Leia?
Leia looked fine because they didn't make her the center part of a scene.
Yeah.
Starting cameras on Tarkin.
But don't you kind of just have to suspend disbelief for a second? Just be like, yeah, it's not him, but it's... I mean, they tried.
No, I think... Normally, I would let them get away with that, but with the Star Wars use of blue holograms and that technology, I think it would have worked just as well if you have him just like the Emperor role.
Oh, okay. So you can wash out what he looked like a little bit. Okay.
Because if you just do the blue hologram, I think it works.
Yeah, probably.
I think it would have worked better and not look like a Star Wars cartoon with real people. Roger Rabbit
I just
style.
think I don't know how the story works, but I guess if he was supposed to be there, then they had to do it the way they did it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I liked it, and I thought it was cool the way they, spoiler alert, killed everybody at the end.
I thought. See, that's what made me like it more. Is because they had the cojones to do that.
Yeah, you have to write everybody off. All right, so I wrote down a big list of movies.
Yep, you did.
Movies coming out in 2017, but I have one other question.
Okay.
Oscar nominations came out, and I only have one question about it.
Oh.
Deadpool didn't get nominated for anything.
Yep.
This is a conspiracy, and I'm mad about it.
Conspiracy is an interesting word for it.
They don't like those movies.
No, they never have.
But they should.
You can have the greatest comic book movie of all time.
You did! Deadpool!
Which some people call Deadpool. I'm not Stephanie going to say it had a middle, an ending, and it had a beginning. It was like every movie.
Yeah, it had everything, just like all the other movies, but it did it better. It's the best. Is that a comic book movie? Is that what that is technically? Yes. That's the best comic book movie that's come out for what it was supposed to be.
Yes.
That's what I mean. It might not be the best action movie, but if your movie's goal is action and my movie's goal is comedy, Deadpool did it better than whatever other comic book movie there is.
Yes.
They got what they wanted better than any other comic book movie I've seen.
And Deadpool changed the game on comic book movies.
How
because
so?
Every comic book movie had we're going to have the big battle at the end. In the middle, the hero's going to lose a fight to the main villain. And it flows in chronological order. There's always the origin story.
Yeah.
And Deadpool said, well, I can make a comic book movie, but it can also be a comedy. And now movies like Logan are coming out where it's still a comic book movie, but with a very different feel. It's not the shiny costume at the end. It's not the hero always triumphs over evil.
Evil. By the way, the Ryan Reynolds tweet about Logan last year, that was my favorite tweet of 2016. Did you see that?
No. His Twitter's fantastic, though.
When the first, I don't know if it's the cover of the movie, but by the way, Logan, if you're not familiar, it's the Wolverine movie.
Yes.
So, not you knew that, but
I was corroborating your story.
It's like the 3 claws, but there's like a kid's hand. Did you see that Ryan Reynolds tweet?
Yes, I did.
And he put the picture of him and Deadpool with the baby hand. He goes, yeah, me and Hugh, Hunky Australian or whatever the hell he called him.
Yep, those two are fantastic at trolling the entire internet.
Ryan Reynolds is the best.
Oh yes,
Ryan Reynolds is the best. All right, so let's go into this. Is in. I didn't want to play favorites or try to put this in any order, so this is literally in order of when they're released.
Yep.
These are movies that caught my eye and Stephanie's eye as we went over them, and then we'll actually let's see what the people wrote in a couple of movies that we're supposed to talk about here.
Oh, okay.
I know for one. Well, as I pull this up, a movie that I haven't seen, and we talked about this briefly, but I didn't ask you if you saw it. Have you seen John Wick, the first one?
No, I've seen bits and pieces.
Okay, so everyone loves this movie.
Yes.
It's like everyone loves it. I was talking about this with a few friends the other night. And they were like, oh, John Wick 2's coming out. And I was like, oh, I never saw the first one. And they were like offended.
Yeah.
I was like, that was not a very big movie. And they're like, no, but everyone needs to see it now. I've seen video of Keanu Reeves training for that. Have you seen those?
Yep.
If you haven't gotten a chance to see what Keanu Reeves is, it looks like he's doing like Navy SEAL like training, at least as far as like the gun range went. Let's see if we had any. Okay, so Blade Runner 2049. Ugh. Sequel to 1982's Blade Runner starring Harrison Ford, set to release in October. Besides that, Lego Batman, let's be real. That's KG. The Blade Runner, I never saw the first one. You and I, just before we started this, watched the trailer for the new one.
Yep.
I have to see the first one in order to understand the trailer. I don't know what's happening.
It's one of those movies I'm not going to give anything away, even though it's an old movie.
I don't care. You can.
Okay. There's 10 different endings to that movie. It's one of those, you have to watch the director's cut. Ugh. There's versions
That's
where...
like telling me that a book has a movie made of it, and you're going to make me read the book.
Yeah.
How dare you?
I mean, it is talked about as, besides Star Wars and Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford's best role. But it's just got a weird ending that, like, the directors come out and said, I wanted to do it this way.
Hold on, back. Hot take.
Who else has
Harrison Ford's best role
besides those two?
Besides, hold on a second.
Hey, he did something with we can talk about Air Force One.
Air Force One, Clear and Present Danger. Pretty good. Not a great movie.
No,
I mean, there's a lot of people older than us that love that movie. Sorry, Mom, but I don't care for the movie. He's great in that movie, though.
Yeah,
and in Air Force One, he throws Gary Oldman off his plane.
Yes,
it's perfect. That's my favorite.
Well, you haven't seen Blade Runner, so you're not part of the argument.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. By the way, I got the new Chargers T-shirt from the Dan Patrick Show. Check it out on my Twitter @ShutUpCalhoun. It's pretty awesome. Go check it out. I just showed Danny in the other room.
Oh, it's great.
It's lovely. I'm looking at the Browns' contributions and it's making me sad again. All right, let's go. Let's go back to the movie. So John Wick 2 is coming out. I think we both need to see John Wick.
Yes.
Can we live in the same building? Can we watch John Wick at some point?
Well, there's higher movies on your list for me.
What do I have to see?
No, like movies you need me to see.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff that you have to see. All right, so what movies are on that list that you have to see?
The top two from you are Shawshank.
Yeah, you still haven't seen Shawshank Redemption, which is just ridiculous.
I can't really say that I'm into, or like I'm good to talk movies with, and then say I haven't seen Shawshank or American History X.
Yeah, you've seen Goodfellas, right?
Bits and pieces.
Oh my God, that's the worst one.
We didn't grow up watching old gangster movies.
I agree.
There's a reason we haven't seen The Godfather.
I've seen The Godfather.
Oh, I have not.
You're the worst. I have you here talking movies.
I can talk current movies. I don't talk movies from before I was born.
Okay, so The Godfather. I watched The Godfather and Part 2 in one sitting.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Like there was pacing and moving around the apartment and stuff. It was in college. It was with one of the staples and pillars of this show, Mr. Patrick Dixon, and one of our other roommates, Jay. And there was a unopened bottle of whiskey at the beginning, and it was a handle.
Yep.
And there were 3 men on a couch with The Godfather on, and no glasses, just passing the bottle. 4 hours.
So do you remember Godfather Part 2?
I don't remember a goddamn thing. I count that as seeing The Godfather.
not quite sure that counts. It's like you saw Indiana Jones, the alien one.
But see, that's the thing. We didn't grow up watching old movies, or we grew up watching old movies, but we saw westerns, Monty Python, like those were the movies that we had. We didn't see. I never saw Goodfellas until 5 years ago, 4 years. It's my favorite movie of all time, but I didn't see it until I was 21, 22 years old. I didn't see Shawshank until then. I saw the Mighty Ducks movies 3 years ago. But you just gotta...
Wait, you didn't see the Mighty Ducks movies when we were kids?
Nope.
I don't believe you.
Never did. Never. I watched them when I was still living at Mom's house when I was like 22. And I confidently watched those going, I've never seen these before.
Wow.
Yeah. Not 1 second.
Oh, I would have put money on that you had seen the Mighty Ducks at least.
Nope. No Mighty Ducks for me. All right, so let's keep going down the movie thing, and we're going to come up with more movies that we haven't seen that we should. I haven't seen Titanic or Avatar, but I think I'm just boycotting James Cameron.
That's probably a good choice, honestly.
All right, so Kong Skull Island.
Yep.
I was one of the few people, and I think you were as well, that kind of enjoyed the Jack Black King Kong movie.
Yeah.
I liked that movie. I didn't love it, but I liked it. This one looks hardcore.
Yes.
I'm into it.
This one has more of a old school King Kong feel as opposed to the Jack Black, Adrian Brody one.
That movie had me. Okay?
Where?
The island, great. The island was awesome.
Yes.
T-Rex, giant bugs. It was perfect. And they made a pretty good video game out of that, too.
Yes, they did.
They made a pretty good video game out of that. Okay? Getting him on the boat, the play, or the show, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay? Can't slide on his butt across the ice at Central Park. Nope. I can't have that in my King Kong movies. I don't want any of that. Oh, he's having a frolicky time at the park while the National Guard... Nope, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
That movie had moments where it was great, like the T-Rex fight scene.
That was pretty awesome.
Where he's against three
Snaps
of them.
the jaws. Oh.
Yep. After he bit the tongue out, which was weird. I just recently rewatched that fight scene.
Oh, okay.
So I was like...
I was going to say, you have a really good recollection of a movie that wasn't great.
Well, I like that movie, but to a point, once he got to the city, he had more of a, I don't know if you ever saw this movie, a Mighty Joe Young feeling. Where it's just
Mighty Joe Young. Who was the girl in that movie?
I don't remember.
Oh, God. For some reason in my head, all I can picture is Twister Helen Hunt.
I think it was.
Was it Helen Hunt?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure.
But I picture her in Twister with Mighty Joe Young. I don't know if it was actually her and Mighty Joe Young, but that's who I'm picturing in this. By the way, I saw Bill Paxton in a commercial the other day, and it reminded me that Bill Paxton played a guy named Bill in Twister because Bill Paxton, they didn't have confidence in his acting ability.
That argument works to a point until you get to The Office. Creed is a great, great actor, and he plays his own name.
That's a perfect name, though. That's a perfect name. Well, they did that a lot on that show, on The Office. A lot of the characters played or had their actual name. But anyway, while you look up who's in King Kong, you texted me earlier. I asked you, what movies are we talking about tonight? You told me to watch the Power Ranger trailer.
Yes.
Pass.
You're passing on it?
Passing on Power Rangers.
Well, did you see...
I have seen the other one. You and I watched the trailer a minute ago. But there is the longer one where it builds to it, and you're like, who are these kids? What is this craziness?
And then you've got a big Bryan Cranston on the wall.
Yeah, you got a big Bryan Cranston. Yeah, pass. I'm... All right, another hot take coming in. Power Rangers are shitty.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I don't get it.
No one...
I'm gonna go out there. Maybe this is just the way we grew up, and I think you're gonna come with me on this. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I wasn't there.
Nothing. I got nothing for it.
I had more love for the Street Sharks more than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know if you remember them.
Vaguely, yes, vaguely. But yeah, no, there's a lot of those growing up. But that was another thing about the things that we watched growing up. We watched way different stuff than everybody else.
Yes.
Like, we were Nickelodeon. Aside from, there was the Courage, Bravo, Ed, and Eddie. Dexter, right? Those were the 4 Cartoon Network shows.
We started off Cartoon Network more than we did Nickelodeon.
But then it was... when I say Nickelodeon, what I mean is we didn't watch any of the Nickelodeon shows everybody else watched except for, like, Hey Arnold.
And even that,
and
to
by
me,
the way, Rocket Power.
Oh yeah, Rocket Power was the best.
Rocket Power, but like Rugrats,
we were never Rugrats people.
We didn't watch The Simpsons growing up.
No.
There's 1,000 shows of people bring up shows all the time, and I haven't heard. I didn't know. I still don't know what what Kenan Thompson did.
Oh, Kenan and Kel.
I didn't know. I don't know what that is.
Oh,
I knew Kenan Thompson was on a show. I knew there was somebody named. I thought it was Kelly. I didn't say it because I was wrong. I thought it was Kenan and Kelly. That's why I chickened out and went Kenan.
And at some point in your life, you've seen Good Burger.
Nope.
Oh. Well,
however, my best friend growing up quoted it all the time.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I take your order?
May I take your order? Yeah, I always say that all the time. But
yes, well, it's funny because Tristan introduced me to that movie.
Oh, okay. these are people. These
are siblings. That makes it funnier.
We move on. And by the way, I want to know the movies as we go through this. The ones that you're like your top 3 most excited for.
Yep.
This one's on the list for me. Guardians 2.
Yes.
Can't wait for Guardians 2.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Baby Groot.
Yep. Baby Groot's great.
Baby Groot's great. No, those movies are awesome. We just watched the trailer for a bunch of these, and Batista laughing in the trailer at the end is my favorite. A lot of wrestling in the last 2 weeks on the show.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. By the way, I promised Josh I was going to watch wrestling. I haven't yet, but I DVR'd Monday Night Raw.
Oh, good.
I DVR'd it.
It was actually pretty good.
I'm gonna buzz through it. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna watch it. And I'm gonna watch SmackDown too. I didn't DVR it though, so I guess I'm not. Is SmackDown not good anymore?
Well, I mean, it's got.
I looked for it. It wasn't. I didn't even see it.
It's on Thursday nights.
Oh, it's on Thursdays?
I believe. Yeah, SmackDown.
SmackDown
SmackDown Live is on Thursdays.
Oh.
It's on USA now.
I thought it was first I went to Friday, and then for some reason I thought it was a Tuesday.
What channel were you looking at?
9.
It's on USA.
Oh, remember when it used to be on UPN?
Yep.
Pretty sure we had a channel.
Spent some time on Sci-Fi.
I think we had a channel called like WCX at one point. I think it was on there.
That was before the CW was around.
I remember when Raw was on TNN.
I don't.
Oh yeah. Oh, classic. Undertaker with his motorcycle. All right, so Guardians 2.
Yep,
we're in.
Absolutely.
Wonder Woman. I will see it because it's going to be a part of an overarching story.
Yes.
But overall, I don't care. I feel the same way about Wonder Woman as I felt about the first Captain America movie.
You'll see it because that's you're choosing superhero World War I, World War II movies. Are you a fan of like war movies?
Nope. not old war movies. I mean, very rarely my favorite World War II movie is Inglourious Bastards, and that is not a historical movie.
Well, that's funny because we grew up on John Wayne and didn't watch his war movies.
No, it was all the westerns.
It was all the westerns, and it was
an Irish one thrown in.
Yes.
Okay. I was told by my sister, your sister,
Yep.
to ask you about The Mummy, which is a Tom Cruise movie about zombies. Don't you think... I'm going to go ahead and quote what Stephanie told me to ask. I don't know what this means, guys. I'm just going to read it. Don't you think this is kind of a ripoff of Universal's classic monster movie Dracula? I don't know what that means, but I was told it was going to get a reaction.
The new Mummy movie is set up to be.
Is Brad Fraser in it? Was his name Brad Fraser?
Brendan
Fraser. Okay.
Who I thought for a second was.
Who was Brad Fraser?
No one.
Was that the guy Raymond's brother?
His name was Brad, but it wasn't Fraser.
Damn it!
You're combining Fraser and Everybody Loves Raymond.
Wasn't that Jerry Seinfeld? No, never mind. Okay, go ahead.
The new Mummy movie.
Yeah.
Consists with a cast of Tom Cruise.
Okay. The zombies can't eat them. They can't bend down to eat them.
It's not even about zombies. It's just like the classic.
It said zombies in the plot thing.
Well, I guess it's an undead one mummy.
Oh,
but
okay.
everyone calls that a mummy and not a zombie.
Okay, that's a good point.
You've got the part of...
By the way, there are people out there that would break down for hours for you the difference between a mummy and a zombie.
Good for them.
And I think it's toilet paper.
I think you're right.
I think toilet paper is the difference. Keep going.
You've got the part of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde being played by Russell Crowe.
I'm out. Can we move on?
Wait, nope, you got one more.
I don't want to be a part of this.
You got one more.
I don't want to be a part of this.
You got one of the more physical actors in the last decade playing the Invisible Man.
Who?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp's playing the Invisible Man?
Yes.
I wish he would do that with his career. I'm out on Johnny Depp, by the way.
Oh yeah, most of the planet is.
Okay. I mean, he seems like a good guy, though. Well, he seems like a nice guy.
Kind of. Not really.
Being facetious. Being facetious. What is this I wrote? Oh, Cars 3. Super dark.
Let's go real dark.
We watched the teaser trailer. It's basically like, Lightning McQueen's gonna die. Summer 2017. Crashing into theaters.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Spider-Man, the origin story. So this is the kid, right? From the
from
Civil War. Okay. I like this.
Good.
I like this.
Is this the first Spider-Man you've been excited for?
No, I was stoked for all of the Tobey Maguire ones when they were coming out.
Oh.
I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my favorite superhero.
Yeah, but Tobey Maguire's the fat, skinny guy.
But they were Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
So they were okay. But
they were always built on the villain, which most good comic book movies are until you got through the third Spider-Man when the villain was terrible.
I just remember him going emo.
Yeah, there was the emo, there was the dance scene.
Tobey Maguire got in a bar fight. That doesn't seem possible. But no, I like Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero. This should be good.
Yeah, it's going to be excellent. Actually, the actor I mentioned earlier, Michael Keaton, is the villain.
Oh, Bill Belichick.
Yes.
Or no, not Bill Belichick.
He was Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn. All right, so I'd never heard of this movie until today. I don't think you had either. And my sister told us to watch the trailer. She said, watch this trailer and tell me you won't want to see Dunkirk. We don't want to see Dunkirk. Looks like a good movie. It looks like a World War II movie, and it looks sad.
I bet she thought it looks like it's on the director.
Christopher Nolan?
Yes.
Yeah, he's good, but that looks sad. It looks like it's going to bum out my day if I watch that movie. Like, super heroic, I get it, but that I need to pause. I need to be able to pause that one, you know? Go make a sandwich, drink a beer. I don't want to be in a theater for that.
Maybe you should go to
That's too much of a commitment.
One of the theaters that actually serves alcohol. They might...
those
exist.
The
They're
movie
great.
theater we used to go to in Pittsburgh did that. All right, Blade Runner we touched on because KG sent it to us. You're the Marvel guy. Talk to me about the Thor movie in November.
Thor movie in November is going to be excellent, in my opinion.
Is Natalie Portman in it?
No.
How dare you? I'm out.
I think I can draw you back in.
Okay.
It's got the Hulk is going to be in it.
Edward Norton?
Oh, God. I hate you.
I know. All right, keep going.
It's going to have the Hulk. I'm spoilering, but not really, because it was already officially announced. Doctor Strange is going to be in it as well.
Oh, okay, all right.
Are you back in a little bit?
I'm back in, because Benedict Cumberbatch is in.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to have and Stephanie might die listening to this, the snarkiness of Tom Hiddleston, Benedict Cumberbatch on screen.
That's a lot for her.
It is.
That's a lot. Stephanie, I'm worried about this. We're going to have to talk about this. For those of you that aren't aware, Tom Hiddleston and Benedict Cumberbatch are both in danger if they're ever in the same room as my sister. And the two of them on the same screen.
On top of that, that movie has Jeff Goldblum.
Awesome.
Kate Blanchett.
Okay.
And Carl Urban, who was the Dread guy. And he was also the Knights of...
Isn't he a country singer?
No. Sounds like a country singer's name.
Keith Urban. All right. Anyway, no, that sounds like a good cast. All right, I'm in. All right, we got 3 more.
Yep.
3 movies to go. And I saved one of them only because I don't care about the movie that's coming out, but we're going to talk about the one that it's based off of. Justice League.
Yep.
That looks... I don't know what it looks like. You don't either.
No.
Because it's Ben Affleck Batman.
Yes.
I like it.
Which we talked about.
It's dead Superman, but not really. Right? He's
not dead, but not dead.
Right, he's not dead Superman.
Just like if you watch Civil War and you go, oh, that means they're never going to fight on the same side. Come on.
Yeah. Let's grow up. I had that moment. All right, so I'm gonna if you watch Sherlock and you're not updated, Stephanie, you don't have to fast forward. You haven't watched any?
I haven't watched the last 2.
You haven't watched the last 2?
No, I only watched the first one.
Okay, well, this isn't a spoiler for you.
Okay.
So you know there's 2 episodes left in the season you're on?
Yes.
Okay, so during the second episode, there's a moment of, wow, is Sherlock gonna... No, there's a 3rd episode. like, are they gonna kill Benedict No, they can't, because there's a 3rd episode.
Yeah.
There's one of those moments where it's just like, no, never mind. So yeah, not Justice League. I'm excited because I liked Batman versus Superman. We talked about it.
Yeah.
That was your podcast debut, and I enjoyed that movie.
Yep.
Star Wars, The Last Jedi.
Yes.
Thoughts? Stephanie thinks this means that what's her face? Rey.
Yep.
Is a Skywalker.
How?
That's. I think that's what she said.
I
Her theory was.
just
I think that's what she said. If I got that wrong, then I'm gonna get beaten up. But.
She's more likely a Kenobi than she is a Skywalker.
Oh wait, that's what she said.
Okay.
She was freaking, and she's listening to this and freaking the fuck out right now.
You might get a phone call when she listens.
Skywalker. I did not say sorry, Kenobi. Sure. I mean, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
They should have called it. I saw this. I can't take credit. I saw this on Twitter. Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi. Okay, Luke dies.
See, but I think that's hard for them to do.
What? Kill Luke?
Are you going to go into the 9th, the final installment of these Star Wars movies, without any of the main 3?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Because Carrie Fisher was made to have a huge role in the 9th. It was going to be a massive role.
She's not going to have that role.
No, thank you. You're helpful. What I'm saying is that you have a movie that was written to have one of the main 3 as a major part in it.
So you can't take that whole storyline out. You're saying, like, if there's got to be stuff written in for that character, it's got to tie in.
And they already said they won't do what they did with Tarkin in Rogue One. They will not CGI her.
No, you can't. For that, no, not older her.
Yeah,
that'd be weird.
They won't.
Like she was
CGI her.
She was just here. Like you can't CGI her now. No, that makes sense. Is there any other characters from the old movies that you could use?
Lando, but not really.
Lando would be okay.
Yeah, he could. He was leading another part of somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. And plus, you can always use the same theory that you had, which is you have the holograms. You can do whatever you want with them.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want with them.
True.
And it's still entirely possible.
Force Ghost.
Force Ghost for Mark Hamill.
Yep.
By the way, if the inevitable, which my thinking is the inevitable turn is that Kylo Ren's going to end up being the hero in this by the end of the 9th one. He will be able to talk to whoever he wants as well, and Harrison Ford is still capable of acting. So,
yeah,
these are. By the way, is that a crazy theory? I have not heard someone else say that. I think Kylo Ren's going to end up being the good guy in all of this.
With the amount of stuff that I listen to and read and watch, and you being the only person who said it, it might be a little crazy.
Really?
Yes,
I think that's what's going to happen. He's got the good stuff inside. It might even just be like Darth Vader-esque, which is like bad until the end.
The last 30 seconds of his life.
But I am confident in saying that Kylo Ren's going to have a good turn, a face turn. He's going to turn face before he dies.
I have a theory I literally just came up with sitting here.
What's that?
And it's another one of the theories I haven't heard since before Force Awakens came out, and this is going to make Mom very happy.
Yeah.
What if Rey's the last Jedi because Luke is a Sith?
Oh, that's juicy. I like this. I have a lot of Star Wars theories. We have a lot of time. Between now and November.
Yes.
Where are we at in this thing? We're over an hour already.
Wow.
We're killing it. All right, we have one more movie, and then we're going to talk about family change this week.
Yes.
But first, one more movie. They're remaking the worst movie ever made. Can you believe that? The worst movie ever made is getting remade. It's at the bottom of the sheet there.
Oh, yep.
I have a distinct hatred. So, they're going to make a new Jumanji movie.
Yes, they are.
And I just want to use this time for a second. I think I've done this on the podcast before, but if I haven't, I'm going to do it now. And if I do it now, I'm going to do it again someday. So, I just like to use this time as a public service announcement to remind you that Jumanji is the worst goddamn movie that's ever been put out. And if you spend any time watching it a second time, which I'm sure I have and everyone has, you've made a mistake.
Yeah.
You see it once, and if you haven't seen it yet, good. You're doing well. You've gotten up to this point. Jumanji's the worst.
It's up there.
No, it's the worst. I don't know why. I have an irrational hatred for that movie. However, I'm going to see the new one because it'll be the first remake that's better than the original.
I think Power Rangers has a shot. The originals were pretty bad.
Okay, I might have just opened something up. We're going to yell that on Twitter and
Yep,
Facebook this week because there's going to be a lot of remakes that were better than the originals.
Give me an hour, I'll yell at you from upstairs.
Shit. All right. Well, whatever remakes were better than the originals, you can tell us. So, family change this week. Yes. Our childhood home was sold on Tuesday. We spent our last moments there, and the house is gone.
Yep.
It's a bummer.
Well, the house is still there.
Well, the house is still there, but it's somebody.
Not the Calhoun name.
It's somebody else's house now. I think they're probably in there now.
I believe so.
Nice.
Looking at their mud pit.
Yeah, they got a big mud pit in the yard. We had the whole septic system got redone, and the yard is just a nightmare. All right, so you wanted to talk about the house. Yeah. Did you have a couple house stories that you wanted to share?
I mean, I had some of the classics.
Okay.
Just our rooms, to give someone a brief mental map.
Sure.
We're at the end of a hallway, opposite each other. So we could both look out our doorway and see into the others. And there was throwing a football, middle of the night.
Yep.
And then going outside to throw football outside the next day.
Yep.
In pricker bushes and...
before we move on from the football, one of my memories is you out in the yard and we're playing football and you were looking one way and the kickoff was happening the other direction and Eric kicked the ball and it went straight to your face. Right to your face.
Yes, it did.
We spent, an average of 2 hours a day?
Easily.
An average of 2 hours a day for 15 years out in that yard?
Yeah.
Or in the neighborhood somewhere?
No matter the season, it was either basketball when there was too much snow on the ground because our basketball hoop was in the road.
Yeah.
Or mud football games in the fall.
Yep.
Home run derby, much to the chagrin of our neighbors.
Yep. Yeah, it was constant, and we had a great neighborhood too.
Yes, we did,
because we had 6 or 7 people that were consistently around, and it was every day on the bus. All right, whose house? Well, Calhoun's. Okay, 3:30.
Always our house.
3:30. Everybody rolls up on their bikes. We figure out what we're playing, then we went.
Yep.
That was a pretty good. Yeah, that was a pretty good group. It was a pretty good group. I went around. I brought your girlfriend Valerie.
Yep.
Before you and Mom got back to the house when we were packing stuff up, I brought Val on a tour of the house. Now you're thinking to yourself, well, she's been in that house 1,000 times. Why would she need a tour?
She lived there for a brief time.
I brought her to 3 or 4 different locations of the house where I said, "Feel the wall. You feel that? I punched that. there's new drywall here. Feel how bumpy it is? They did a shit job."
We can say that. The house is already signed.
Yeah, see ya. But yeah, no, that was fun. It was interesting. It was weird seeing the house for the last. Well, I'm sure we'll see the house again. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was different. It was different.
Being inside it for the last time was weird.
Yeah, yeah, and having it empty. And I have a couple ideas that I'm going to tell you about for devious things, but
oh boy.
Stephanie's involved in some of these things already.
Okay.
But no, right now it's funny. Our mom has a condo that that she bought and she's moving into on Friday. So technically right now she's homeless.
Yep.
So she's sleeping at our grandmother's house, and I was talking to Stephanie on the phone today. She said it was early this morning. Stephanie called Mom and Nana was yelling from the other room. Like, so our grandmother's yelling at our mother from one bedroom to another in my grandmother's house. So I'm just picturing my mom as a 5-year-old. Stephanie was telling me this. I was cracking up. But yeah, so the house, there goes the house.
Yes.
And now we're all out.
Yep.
And we have the 3-legged wonder dog in our building now for the week.
Yeah, that was the less fun part, driving the 3-legged wonder dog away.
Yeah, Roxy's kingdom.
Yes.
Roxy had free reign, and Roxy turned 13, technically, or somewhat tech. We got Roxy July 24th, 2004, they told us that she was roughly 6 months old. So I said, okay, January 24th is her birthday.
Yep.
So she just went over the 13-year mark. She's been 3-legged for 2.5?
Yeah.
3.5?
3.5, I think.
Oh, boy. It's ridiculous. Or what? Well, it was March, so I think we're approaching 3.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Crazy. That's it.
Still kicking.
Still
Physically kicking people.
We put a video on the Twitter page. We put a video on the Calhoun Show Twitter page of her. I got her a bone, and she only has one front paw. She had cancer in her front right leg. If you didn't know that, we've talked about it before. So she had like 2 or 3 surgeries. They couldn't take any more stuff out. You know, eventually you run out of skin.
Yeah.
So they take the leg before it spreads, and she's been phenomenal ever since.
Absolutely.
But she's 13 years old. She doesn't move great anymore. She hobbles along. She doesn't do well with stairs, but this is a 1 floor, so it's fine. And she's got her only front paw on the bone. Like twisting it back and forth with her mouth on it, picking away at it. Like, okay, I want to get this side. And I'm watching her going, in dog years, you're 91. Like, what are you doing? How are you doing this?
That's 91 dog years of experience.
91 dog years. Yeah. And she's been 3-legged since she was 70. Oh, she just keeps plugging away. All right, there you go. Your first full episode.
Yeah.
Of the podcast. You'll be on more of them this year.
Absolutely.
You live upstairs. I think I like the guest episodes more than the episodes by myself. I think these are more fun.
Yeah, well, anytime you need a guest.
These are like,
punch the ceiling.
I said last week on the show, I was like, I'm going to get somebody fun on. And then the next day I was thinking about it. I was like, all right, who do I want to get? I'll just get Danny to do it. I don't even have to think about it. We'll just talk movies. Awesome. All right, well, Super Bowl's next week. I don't know who we're having on next week, but I'll figure it out. We'll blast it out on the Twitter. So subscribe, rate, review on iTunes. You can get us on Stitcher and SoundCloud, YouTube, all those places. Thank you to everybody who sent stuff in. Thank you to Josh Eisenberg, WrestleZone.com, Chair Shot Reality. If you missed that episode, go back and check it out from last week. It was really, really good. We talked wrestling. We talked football. You've known... have you met Josh? You have met Josh.
Mania.
You've met Josh a couple times.
When I was cooking burgers.
Yeah, you were cooking burgers at WrestleMania 28?
29.
29?
In New York, whatever that one was.
Yeah, it was... that was a fun Super Bowl. Or WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I was thinking Super Bowl because they played the Super Bowl there the next year. But that was a fun WrestleMania, and we had a jolly good time in New York City.
Yes, we did.
The one bummer for you is you weren't 21 yet.
No, I was not.
We went to New York City. We stayed in a hotel at the Pennsylvania Hotel across the street from Madison Square Garden with bars and all kinds of adult entertainment venues all around us. And
I stayed home.
Danny went shopping for a belt, and I'm not joking.
I actually went to the large Macy's in Times Square and bought a belt.
And like that was a real thing. Danny went because he couldn't.
But I actually did go in the Empire State Building. I didn't go up because I was cheap. But I walked in and said, okay.
I don't think that counts. And that's actually, you know what's funny? The first bar you could go into was the Chair Shot Reality WrestleZone meetup.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. So, all right, that's it. So, yeah, check out all that stuff. You don't tweet, so nobody cares about your Twitter.
Nope, not at all. I use Twitter to follow people. I have like 7 tweets. And you were one of them. From that Mania, actually.
Oh, that's fair. All right, that's Dan. I'm Kevin. This is the Calhoun Show. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to The Calhoun Show. Join the conversation by following the show on Twitter @Calhoun Show and emailing the show at calhounshow@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe and download for free on iTunes. Want to hear yourself on the show? Leave us a voicemail by calling 860-740-2119.